Did I? Am I? Oh. All right. Yo, this is so nice. 안녕하세요 여러분, Tony입니다. Hello everyone, it's Tony. So in anticipation for their first album titled 1 billion views, EXO-SC members, EXO's Chanyeol as well as EXO SEHUN have been releasing a lot of tracks, some of those teasers almost, for their upcoming 1 billion views album that is coming out July 13th of this month. Very excited for that, and we yesterday reacted to EXO's Chanyeol's solo track titled Nothing, and then the day prior, we had also reacted to their pre-release single titled Telephone. So if you guys want to go check those two out, I will leave the links for them in the description box below. But this one is now Sehun's solo being titled On Me, and again it's around 2 minutes time, same thing as Chanyeol's, and it kind of does look like a little bit of darker type of scene, but it is using more blue, so maybe there's a hint that's going to be a little bit more brighter and uplifting. With that being said, guys, I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's get into it. Junbi, ready? Check. Oh, it's like a funky beat. It's like get down and get dirty with it type of beat. Did I? Am I? Oh. All right, like hip hop, like. Yo, this is so nice. It's kind of like if you had like a car, like you think about like Miami Vice type of feels. It's kind of like that low rider, you know, like they go really low to the ground. That type of like kind of beat to it. It's really nice. Oh, that's a cute dog. Very funky, very like swaggy too. Yo, he looks so swaggy in this video. The aesthetics kind of remind me like a little bit kind of like Kun's Young video. The aesthetics and kind of like the beat a bit, like how he's doing his voice. This is definitely very different. It's just similar to Chanyeol's. It's very different from Telephone. Oh, that's a Gucci jacket. Nice. He's ballin'. Whoa, that was a nice. This kind of like higher note, like this kind of like almost like disc track like scratchiness. It's really reminiscent of like an older type of vibe. So again, we're kind of throwing back to like Telephone, how it's like kind of retro style, but this time it's paying homage to more of the older school of like hip hop and like rap almost, because it has a bit more of like that kind of like gangster swaggy type of vibe. And like really, as I mentioned before, like when you had like those cars that go up and down, like, you know, the low ride type of beat type of thing that you would see in the movie. So definitely a different vibe to Sehun than what I am used to, because of in Telephone is really my first appearance of him as a like kind of solo artist almost, and that was like a lot more uplifting, higher, and you got to show more of like his vocal singing abilities. In this you get to see more of like his swagger side, his flow of the rap, and just how he can like approach and like show charisma in a song. And at the same time, this kind of like visual styling, this scene in particular reminds me a lot of Kun's Young, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should definitely go check that out. Kun Young, it's a great song. I love this beat. It's very reminiscent of like the old school days. Even the like the outfits and everything. I'm very impressed with this song. This one is very hard hitting. At the same time, it's still very mellow, very soft, very chill vibes. Again, it's kind of similar to almost Chanyeol's Nothing, because that song was also kind of very chill vibes. At the same time, it was still very hard hitting. So I think that both of these songs are showcasing that these guys have a different side to them. There's not just the poppy kind of like boyfriend vibe material that you see in Telephone. You got to see like a more sexier, more swagged out, more self-reflecting image that these guys are showing, especially in On Me for Sehun. Sehun, we get to see a lot more of his rapping, a lot more swaggy, very kind of like almost gangster hip hop esque. That is kind of like reflected in the music video with how the aesthetics, the visuals, everybody's dressed almost in a retro kind of like older school hip hop type of vibe, and then the beat is very reminiscent, just like up to the sound effects. You kind of like almost have a scratchy disc effect that's going throughout, and these kind of like beats and tones are very reminiscent to me as like the older days of like hip hop before we had more of like the new school type of era. Definitely very cool, and it definitely also really interests me as to see what their actual comeback track for 1 billion views is. We have now Telephone, which is a happier, brighter song. You have Chanyeol's solo, which was Nothing, which is still similar almost in the tone of On Me, being that it's kind of very different. So I'm curious to see if they're going to mesh something similar or if they're going to go more in the happier style, because from the title, from the album art of 1 billion views, it does look like it's kind of like a Miami Vice retro feel, and it looks a bit more like uplifting, happy. So it'll be curious to see if they go with a uplifting more feel, or if they're going to go like in a bit more like darker kind of like Miami during at night type of vibes. With all that being said, guys, definitely stay tuned on the channel because I will be reacting to more of the EXO members boys stuff. EXO Obsession as well, EXO The Eve is actually coming out. I'm just have to finish editing that video, and then for sure we're going to be reacting to 1 billion views as it comes out. So with that being said, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit short, but thank you for watching again. 감사합니다. And as always, if you have any comments, questions, or something you want to talk, feel free to leave it in the comment section below, and I'll get to it as soon as possible. And with that being said, guys, have a nice day. 안녕히 계세요. Goodbye, and I'll see you next time.
Forever love, sad, happy. Forever love, sad, happy. Forever love, sad.